Welcome to Inside Startup Investing, the only podcast where you can invest in every guest. On this episode, I will be speaking with the co-founders of Groomit, Sohel and Lars. Groomit is an on-demand grooming service for your dogs that comes directly to your home so you don't waste time heading to the groomer or pet store, and your dogs don't have to spend hours in a crate waiting for their cut, especially the anxious ones. With pet care spend booming in the United States, Groomit is leaning into people's need for convenience and desire to pamper their pets to the tune of $8 million in annual sales and growing rapidly. What I really liked about Groomit is that they are leaning into one of the areas of weaknesses I see with businesses like Rover and Wag that essentially act as brokers for dog walkers. Unfortunately, in that kind of model, there is fairly low control over the quality of the offering. Whereas what Groomit has built is a Rover-like experience, except they actually interview each groomer and provide the built-out vehicle that has been custom built to provide an exceptional experience for the dogs and pet owner every time. This is an exciting time for the company, as they've built a repeatable playbook that they have only rolled out into a few cities. And now they are ready to start leaning into scale across multiple cities and states with their winning playbook to provide best-in-class pet grooming services. With great quality customer service and happy groomers, Groomit is setting up to win in the age of big pet spend. So if you love your dog and they hate their grooming appointments, this is the episode for you. With that, let's get on to the show and welcome the founding team. Lars, let's start with you, and then Sohel would love to hear from you as well. Give us a little bit of background about yourselves and how you came to found this business.
Sohel and me, we go back almost close to 15 years. We did to telecom before, and then Anna, one of our co-founders, she came up with an idea. I'm originally from Germany. I was on my way back to Germany, and Sohel told me, "Hey, Lars, we have a crazy idea. What do you think about it, And I fell in love with it. And then since then we started it. So this is now over 8 years ago. And I'm in charge, of operation mostly. And I'm loving it. I'm also a pet owner. I have a beagle.
That's awesome. And how about you, Sohel?
So I know Lars for more than 15 years in the telecom business. And when Anna came up to me about this project, that we think that there is an opportunity to cater exactly the same way how I've catered the users who wants to make an international calls as a connection to the people. I felt that when she brought this to me, it was actually a pure connections to the family member, like a pet. So I found that connections at the time, but I was also sure about the business. So once, we come to terms with a business that we can actually make a great business out of it while we are serving a good cause. That's when Lars, me and Anna, we all joined force together and start from scratch, and one groom at a time, one groom a week to one groom a day to 200 grooms a day now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So first off, how does running this kind of mobile grooming business compare to running a telecom business? And what was that transition like?
Actually, to be honest, it's pretty much similar. Because in a telecom business, also you need to connect people. So you need a capacity. So if you're calling somebody, you want to make sure that you have a capacity, that people can communicate. You need a T1 connections. Same thing, if you need to serve a client, you need to have a capacity. And actually that worked out the best for us because we are the only company in a country that offers same-day grooming, because we understand what capacity means, what is true supply and demand means. So that actually helped us positive in our business.
You guys have been growing, 5.8 million, I think, in 23 revenues, 7.4 million in 24 revenues. What do you think you've tapped into? What are customers telling you? And how do you continue to scale this?
We could have grown 10 times more than what we were, but we wanted to be very, very careful in terms of providing our service. You don't want to scale and lose out of control when you cannot provide a quality, right? So our goal was that scale with a quality. Stay small till you figure everything out. That was the slogan in our company. Right? And that worked out really well for us. So actually last year, we decided not to grow our business, but rather increase our offering improve our offering. And without adding any capacity, we were able to grow 20-25%. And now 2025 and going forward, now that we have a product market feel that we feel comfortable with it, that our customer feel comfortable with, our groomers feel comfortable accepting a job because they think that they're making a reasonable amount of money. Now we think that we have this figured out, and we've tried this in 17 states and over 50 cities. Since we tried it all over, we think that we have kind of idea now that we can quadruple this or 10 times more on what we are doing. And we don't really even have to go out of our comfort zone. Where we are, we can just scale it because the demand is huge.
What is the profile of kind of cities where this works? And yeah, how many more of those do you think kind of fit that band of what you're looking for?
Most of the West Coast, we haven't even tapped into it. We just opened up Los Angeles, and only one city we have 6 vans, just Los Angeles. And we can put another 10 more vans in Los Angeles, right? So you have an entire West Coast that is completely open for us.
Now, I'm curious, you've been at this for a while, so you figured a lot of things out, but there's also all the things that you had to figure out, right? The challenges you ran into. What are the challenges of, you have vans, you have individual groomers you're hiring, they're going to people's homes. There's a lot of logistics there. Plus you have to deal with the actual pet that you're grooming. So what lessons have you learned? What roadblocks have you run into as you've tried to figure out the logistics of running this business?
I think the biggest challenge was first selling a groomer an idea, right? So we had an idea, but we didn't have really the income at this point, right? So I remember when we did the first interviews, we rented an office in Manhattan, and it was, we just had a PowerPoint presentation, basically. So convincing people, joining forces with you, working on your platform, and selling them idea was very challenging. Now we are building a brand, so it's become easier and easier as we're growing, that groomers really join our platform to see the convenience, that we provide. We bring them clients, we manage the marketing, payment processing, everything is managed. We have a customer app where they book, and they have a groomer app also where they can accept and decline appointments that come in. So we try to make the life so much easier. But the biggest challenge were really convincing the groomers, about our idea that we had, And of course, the idea grow, we learn, you learn along the way. There are so many challenges, But I think the biggest challenge were really selling your idea to a third party, And, hey, you can make a lot of money with us.
The biggest challenge was actually gaining a trust from groomer that you can actually make that kind of money. They never believe because they've never used to making that kind of money per groomer. So when we started offering $117 per appointment, almost $100 a dog to be groomed, where many of them own a salon and never even charge $100 for that groom. They did not understand that there are specific user type who wants everything at their time, their place, on their terms. That terms was never offered from salon. It was always the other way. So when you change and when you pivot it to a customer term, you can a little bit upcharge them and also you're going to them. And they never understood that part of the business because nobody actually tackled into that. And that convincing was very difficult for us because groomer now, instead of them staying at one place, now they would have to travel to go there. And they're not our employee, they're an independent contractor. So they'll get worried about whether they're going to make money or not on time. Because you're near an independent contractor, you're depending on this platform to bring you enough clients. They don't make money if they don't have enough clients. So it's a little bit of a hassle or a concern for groomer when they initially wanted to join. But then as you build the business and you have more and more groomers started talking to you about, and then you can actually show the example of other groomers, how they're making money and their availability and how much they're making per day or per week or per year. And that helped us. And of course, giving them a free man, basically, it's a dream come true. That wasn't possible before. The biggest challenge was like, okay, how are you going to scale that business? A groomer do not have money to build a business. So what we were able to come up with, which was unique in an industry, was we were able to have a third party put a van on our platform. As a rental, if a groomer pays nothing for it, we take the portion of the commission out of the appointment and pay as a rental fee for a van. Where groomer comes out of pocket with groomer walk in without any money. Like they get to have a brand new Mercedes Sprinter van. They walk out with it and start earning money from day one as soon as they put their schedule on. So that was a challenge for us initially. But now as we scale, now we have an established business in 17 states and all those cities. Now we have hundreds, actually thousands of groomer waiting for us to provide them a van. That was the biggest challenge initially when we started at BHAP.
Yeah. Now we have a
Help
waiting
us-
list. Exactly.
Help us visualize what the customer experience looks like.
Beautiful. From the beginning, our goal was to make sure that, we provide service with care, compassion, and efficiency, right? So from the beginning, uh, it was our priority. And that's why with a consistent over 150,000 pets groomed, our rating continue to be at 4.8 star, right? Because we really, really work very, very hard on it. So for a customer, we try to make it very, very easy for them onboarding process. They can, in one shot, within 1.5 minutes, complete their grooming request with like 90% of the time groomer confirming the appointment within 2 minutes. So the way how it would work is that you go through a booking, book now. If you want a 1 dog or 2 dog, put your address and then put the behavior of your pet. Make sure that your dogs are vaccinated. Where do you want the service? Set a calendar. When do you want the service? And put your credit card. And you have an option whether do you want a best match from the system or you want to choose your own groomer. You have both options. You select best match, the system match the best groomer for you. I can tell you, that how good we are doing is 70% of our customers still select best match because they're counting on a system to match a better groomer. We thought it was otherwise. But even though all the groomers have all the reviews and everything, they still select best match. And instantaneously, within seconds, a minute, you get a groomer who confirms the appointment. And let's say it could be for the same day, it could be for tomorrow, day before. If it's a day before, then in the morning you get a reminder text. 1 hour before, once the groomer's on the way, you get a message that groomer's on the way, and ETA is that time. And once groomer arrived, you get a message, your groomer is here, bring your pets. Once the appointment is completed, you get a message that you can pick up your dog. If it's a mobile van, if it's in home, then you do it inside the house. After the appointment is completed, you get a push notification. Do you want to wait the appointments? You want to tip a groomer? And if you want to reschedule. So it's as simple as ordering your food.
Now, as I'm listening to kind of your business and how it runs, there's a lot about it that sounds really exciting. The one crux for me to better understand a major cost center that I'm hearing is the van. How much are these vans? What does the build out look like? What do they look like internally? And then maintenance costs and all of that associated with it. And you don't have to get into the nitty gritty, but just help me understand, purchasing those vans and then actually building them out and what that build out looks like.
I mean, this is also very, we are really actually worked on it how we can scale it without adding any dollars from our pocket. So those vans are not owned by us at all. You could put a van on our platform. And what we were able to figure out is we created an in-house built out. So you could just literally buy a Mercedes Sprinter van, give us an upfitting cost about up to $20,000. We built out a van for you and put it on our platform, and you make $40 per appointment on a van. So there's no cost for us to do this. And the van that we built for $20,000, market price for built out is $60,000. So what we were able to figure out, and that was the reason we did not add any van last year, because we really wanted to figure out the best possible scenario when we wanted to scale that it will not cost us so much money. Because the more money you spend on a van, the less likely the groomers are going to make the same money. It would have to come out from somewhere. A customer would have to pay more. So we did not want to go out and scale a business that's going to cost us a lot of money. So we really figured that part out. Now that van is on our platform, it costs us nothing. We basically give that investors $40 for each appointment that the investor makes, and all the maintenance and everything is covered from that.
Really interesting. Now, obviously, one of the major models of the past 15, 20 years has been, to just create basically a brokerage platform, right? Where like you act as a broker, Airbnb, WAG, right? All of these different services just connect a person to a person who's connect a groomer to a person who's looking for a service, where it's truly an individual providing the service and you're really just acting as a connector. Here, it sounds like there's more of a control and process where you're hiring these people, you're vetting these people, and they're more part of your network in a more holistic way rather than just like kind of anyone can sign up for the service and you're just the middleman. Talk to me about why you decided on that and why you think that's a better model.
It's a very good question, actually. And this was something that we really worked on it. I would not call it a controlled environment, but I would call it a hybrid environment. Because this industry is over demand, under supply. Groomers, there are not enough groomers. They don't know how to make a successful business. right? So they're never able to showcase their skill and get premium for what they provide service for. They were always behind the door, behind the closed door, provide the service, never got truly compensated for what they need to get paid. So what we did, what Groomit bring is a true entrepreneurship out of them by helping them in a way. I said, okay, you know what? You are not good in marketing. Let us help you do a marketing for you. You're not good in technology. Let us give you a technology that can help you enable and communicate with the client. You do not have a funds to get a van. Let us help you source that van for you. Yet you are still an independent contractor. We're still empowering you to be entrepreneur. We thought that we could really showcase them and show them really how much money they can make.
Yeah. I want to add something. I think skill, Sohel mentions the word skill. I think skill is very important, what a groomer needs. Other platforms usually don't need necessarily a skill. They need a driver's license, most of them. Dog walking, you don't really need a skill, but groomers, you need skill. So that's why we have a process that we really want to keep a high quality. We are premium service. That's why skill is important for us. And
it's more than a skill also, right, Lars? When we are onboarding a groomer, okay, you need to make sure that you verify their skill. Secondly, you verify that they have a driving license. Because without driving license, you can't have a van. And what uniqueness to our business is we do not have a depot. We let the groomer keep the van. So they don't lose time traveling back and forth to the depot. So all of our groomer get to keep the van for themselves. That means they need to have a parking or a water supply for themselves, right? And then lastly is that even if you have a driving license, what if you have a bad driving record? Therefore, insurance will not approve you. So there are a lot of hurdles that we go through for approving process. And then we finally approve that. And that's why we have like 5,000, 6,000 groomers on our platform. We only approve 600 of them because they need to meet all these criteria. There's a lot of things on the back end that we do to help them succeed on our platform.
Yeah. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, it sounds like you decided in 24 to slow down, make sure that you're providing the right service, that maybe there was upsells and ways you can make more money on each sale. I imagine to better the economics for you all. Where you are now, when you think about, you said you think you could 10x this business. What does the next 2 to 3 years look like in terms of expanding this business to new cities and things like that?
So what was interesting for us was we never had an actual recurring booking from the customer side where they're opting for an auto schedule. It wasn't out there. We decided to introduce that in late 2024. Now I can proudly say that more than 30%, almost 1/3 of our business is already recurring booking where nobody has to initiate a booking. So, and it's compounding, right? So now we had 70 vans last year. We already ate 18 vans already in a Q1, completely full out. Now we see that there is a huge demand. We are able to fill these up. The recurring is keep going up. We are going to add more vans. So that in order for us to more, so that we can add more vans, and we plan to add 50 vans this year and about 100 plus a van next year. That would put us at, in a 2.5x revenue next year from this year. And we expect to reach 250 vans by 2027 and 500 van by 2029, 250 van by end of 2027.
How have you financed this business to date? What challenges have you run into in building this business, from a capital perspective?
It's bootstrapped from the beginning, friends and family. We did not get any investor money other than friends and family money. So it was very, very, very challenging because you're always struggling. But it's also helped us a lot because we did not have room to make many mistakes. We could only make small mistakes. We couldn't make bigger mistakes because we couldn't afford it. So it helped us keep on our toe and looking at everything in detail. So that was very helpful. But now that we figured everything out, we think that all the mistakes, a lot of them we made already, and then we saw where we can improve on. And we think that now we are ready to scale this.
When you think about exit opportunities for the business, is this something you want to IPO? Do you see, acquirers that make sense for you all?
I mean, we constantly get calls and requests to become part of a bigger group, but we think that we are not there yet. And we want to make sure that our vision aligns with whoever comes in. It's not, because grooming is very personal. People love, I see how we get a comment from our pet parents. We love that. It's a good feeling moment that we are providing something that people are appreciating truly. And we don't want to lose that. Right? So we want to make sure that whoever we join force with, they have the same vision and same compassion aligned with us.
Competitive landscape wise, are there a lot of other players out there already that you're competing with? And And then how do you differentiate from them if so?
I mean, it seemed like there was always taxi, right? But there is no app, there is no on-demand service, there is nothing like it. There are many companies. They have always been out there. They're still out there. They don't have infrastructures, capacity, algorithm to provide a same-day grooming, best match grooming. They just have their normal business, and they're doing great. But it's not the business that we are targeting. We're targeting a user who wants everything on their time. 70% or 80% of our business generate same week booking. Versus everybody else is month in advance. They can't even take new clients. Our business cater to anyone new who join and a new, who has new pet. They can't get those companies to provide service. Somebody who wants an emergency, they can't get them to provide a service. Somebody who has a dog, they cannot go out, they cannot provide a service. They don't have that structure. And we think that we're targeting those unique customers. And it's working out very well for us.
And also groomers, we have the best compensation model. When you compare this with other companies out there, we pay really the best, and the groomers are really happy. We really want to make they're an important part of it. We think we have a great model in this perspective.
For those who are on the line, I'll give you the last word. What do you want them to know? What do you want them to hear?
There are many pet parents, and we are going to constantly work on provide a quality service without compromising. We wanted to constantly provide a quality service if it means to compromise growth. What we can tell you is that in 8 years of making, at the time of COVID, we were literally shut down for 3 months. And then we had no choice but to figure things out. That's when we introduced grooming vans. And grooming vans was almost impossible to get it from a third party. We decided to build it on our own. We figured that out. We think that we are resilient enough and motivated enough to overcome challenges and constantly work hard to provide the service and scale it without compromising the quality.
If you like what you heard on the show today, you can check out why Groomit received a 3.7 out of 5 at kingscrowd.com. You can also currently invest on WeFunder until October 31st, 2025. And as always, if you like what you heard on the show today, please like, subscribe, and share our podcast wherever you listen so more investors like you can find us. Thanks for tuning in and happy investing.